What's up? Okay, so I watched. That always happens. So I watched All Hallows Eve Trickster. I'm gonna keep saying All Hallows Eve, okay? Trickster, which I guess is like the third installment, the first. Of All Hallows Eve. I guess it's the final installment of the trilogy. Is that what it's gonna stick at? I don't know. So anyway, let's just get right into it. Of course, it's short films, multiple short films in this one big thing, right? So I guess the main story where it starts off with is also a story in itself, right? And that one's called Trickster. And I am actually kind of still confused as to what was going on with that one. I guess maybe it just like jumbled my brain up because I was like, what? Are these like, is this like stop motion animation? Like what? So it kind of got to me. I mean, it was interesting visuals. Yeah, that baby is creepy. They were all these things were kind of creepy, right? So that was definitely something. The story itself, it was probably my least favorite. Besides, I'll tell you which one. Maybe you might already know. Anyway, the next one is That Halloween, and I really liked That Halloween. I loved that concept of like residual hauntings, which I have always really been super interested in. So that was really cool. That was so cool. And a bunch of the kids that are like debating on, what is true with like this legend or this story that they heard, right? So I thought that was really cool. Personally, I just went back to reading books that I used to read in my youth, and one of them is about a residual haunting, and it was probably like, well, one of the books has a story about a residual haunting, and it's probably like one of my favorite stories ever. So that one, yeah, super good, super good, super good. Not super good, like super good. That's what I was trying to do. Okay, what's next? Pretty Face. Pretty Face was, I mean, what did I write down for it? I said modern. Those wood panel walls really were like interesting to me. I don't know why. They remind me of like, I don't know, mobile homes and stuff, right? Like where the Pretty Face killer lives. And then that I loved that sister, the detective's sister, was like deemed the final girl by the killer himself because he's like, I'm gonna get under her skin by murdering her sister. You know what I mean? And he did just that. Why? I don't know. The fact that she was maybe into the occult. She has like that big the sun tarot card tapestry on her wall. She's like into moon cycles and stuff. I don't know. But I thought that was really interesting and really cool. And I guess she obviously makes it. She is more aware of her mind and is able to be more calm, probably, because she's gone within, right? To be able to conquer the killer. Anyway, it left me wanting more. I wanted to know what happened. So it was definitely a cliffhanger, and I liked it. Poor Glenna. Poor Glenna. So gross. And I really wrote just poor Glenna, Like, I can't imagine. The story is sad, Of course, as a film, it's like this lady whose son turns into a monster, and like physically he turns into a monster. You know what I mean? And it's just sad because like she still sees him as like a boy, right? She just says he's just a boy. He's had a tough life. And it's just so sad because you're like, bro, like he's not a boy, And I know that's easy for me to say as a viewer, as a watcher, but like there's instances where it's just like, excuse me, she's emotionally attached to her child, you know what I mean? Who knows what the hell happened to her kid? But like he killed his dad and ate him. I don't know, man. So yeah, it was definitely something else there. You know what I mean? It was enjoyable. I liked the story. Um, and I really was left wondering what that saying was at the end that was like, God sends meat and the devil sends cooks, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely in here. But yeah, overall, I guess if we don't take it too seriously, it was kind of fun, uh, and gross. You know, the fact that she's still giving up her blood to her son so he can eat and be strong. When it's like, dude, you probably need as much blood as you can get. You're super great, lady. You know what I mean? Um, Nagual was so good. At first, I didn't know if I was gonna be into the setting because I was like, oh, I don't know, like Wild Wild West, man. You know, it's kind of like the desert. Like, I don't really like the desert setting. Like, it doesn't really do anything for me. But then it did, and I was very into it. I'm very into like those Navajo hotels, you know. And yeah, it also reminded me of that story in Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark about like that skinwalker, that great white wolf or something. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really like that one, and yeah, I liked it too. Witch hunts. I mean, I like the concept, right? Especially because you heard that like modern day witch hunt. You hear that so much, or at least we heard it so much a couple years back, right? Like everyone getting canceled and shit. It's like a modern day witch hunt. So I thought it was really cool with like that guy being such a bully. I guess he was a bully back in high school. And then like, I mean, it shows you that he hasn't really changed. He's just like such a loser, right? He has like this nice home, so he's probably well off, but he's still stuck to like torturing his classmates that he went to high school with when it's like you're not even really around them anymore, right? So he's has a problem letting go of the past, and I guess his problem is solved at the end of it, right? I thought it was funny when he called that guy Mayflower. I was like, that's such a lame. Like, it was so lame, but it was so funny because it was so lame, you know? Karaoke night. Uh, I don't know if that was. I don't know. It was stylish. I'll give it that. I mean, I really won't turn down a film with all like the bright, what is it, like the neon pinks and blues and stuff. So, yeah, I guess I'll give it that. I really can't say much else about that one, honestly, right? Like, it was visually appealing, but at the same time, it took all that away with things that were not so visually appealing. You know what I mean? So it kind of left me like if you gave me the option to like watch that and you told me what it was about, I'd be like, you know what? I don't think so. I no. But I watched it. Let's just say it was a fun watch. That's just what we're gonna say about it. And yeah, that's it. That was All Hallows Eve 3.